Hey, it's Rory with SearchInChat.com, and today I will be unboxing something. I know I'm not Ray because Ray's busy over there doing something. She's doing work. So I will be standing in. I'm sorry, I know, but I'll try to make up for it with charm and heart. Anyway, I have a very interesting product to unbox today. It's something that I have been looking forward to, and I actually haven't seen like a proper unit yet. Up until now, hopefully, when I unbox it. Oh, I've just pointed to where it was, right? But the point is, it is the Samsung Galaxy Note 10. So I've only ever seen it in the Experience store, you know, the one in Gardens that's hooked up to like the table. But now I have a box of the oh, what's about it? Samsung Galaxy Note 10. This is the box. So as you can tell, it looks a lot like the Note 9's box. Only thing, it says Note 10, so that you know it's the Note 10. Anyway, this is a very interesting flagship because it is Samsung's latest flagship, and it's the follow-up to the everything smartphone. So if we look at the back, this is the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus. As you can see there, it has all these specs here, and this version has 12 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of internal storage, which is quite a lot. Plus, this is the Plus. So you can have it with a micro SD card, or you can add a micro SD card for even more memory if that's what you want. Anyway, that's enough yapping. Let's get to unboxing. So if we were to bust out the knife and cut the seal, I thought this would be easier than that. And opening it. Okay, so this is the Note 10 cover, and that's the phone inside. So this box is, you know, Samsung's new kind of like eco-friendly box. So you have the eco-friendly packaging, which I mean you either like or don't like. I mean it's good that it's more eco-friendly, but then it's not such a premium unboxing experience anymore. Because right, the old ones was like almost like a parchment that you. Never mind. Okay, so in the top here you have this, which is like the document case. So this unit isn't actually a Malaysian unit. This is actually the global set that Samsung Malaysia has kindly sent us earlier, so we can check out. So as you can see, inside the document case, there is just the document. Quick start guide. But in the Malaysian set, I've been told that there will also be a sort of a jelly case, you know, the silicone case for the Note 10, so that's a good thing. And that's enough with the document, enough with the top. So if we look, this is the phone. This phone is in Aura Glow, which is their hero color. Underneath, you will find a flap. And then you'll have the power brick, which is super fast charging, 9V2.77A. So it's not the 45 watt charger. And besides that, you get this, which is the cables, the USB-C to USB-C cable. So that is an interesting thing because every Galaxy Note that's come before this one has always been a USB Type-C to USB Type-A cable, so that you know you can plug it into your brick, which is also USB Type-A. But since this is a new faster charging brick, it's a USB-C brick. Anyway, this is the cable. And they also have an adapter here, which is for micro USB to USB-C. This is like, you know, if you want to pinjam like your friend's power bank, you didn't bring your cable, something like that. And then next up, we have the Akg Headphones. Akg. And then if we were to open it, and then you'll find, I mean, they look pretty standard, like normal Akg headphones that you'd get in the box. But this one's a little different because, spoiler alert, the Note 10 does not have a 3.5mm headphone jack, so you get this, which is a USB Type-C port. So it's a USB Type-C headphones, but the nice thing is that this is braided. Ooh, I love braided cables. Anyway, that's enough of the headphones. Let me know if you want me to listen to them to see if they're good. Oh, included in the AKG box is also a bunch of ear tips. So you get 2 large, 2 small, and then you have the 2 mediums on the headphones. Very nice. Let's get this all off the way though, and move on. So, in here, you have, oh no, I wasn't wrong. Okay, I wasn't wrong. I thought this was going to be like a USB Type-C to USB Type-A adapter, but it's a Type-A to Type-C So it's, you know, yeah, you still can't plug it into your PC if you don't have like a Type A port. Besides that, you have this thing, which is something only Notes have, which is the thing you use to pull out the tips of your S Pen with, you know, like a little grabber. I'm here to pull out the S Pen tips. And then we have additional S Pen tips, black and white. And as you can see, the box is empty. And now it's time to get to the moment you've all been waiting for, the part where I peel off the sticker of the smartphone. So, do people still do this? Still sounds pretty good. And then you have the phone. And if you can see the front of the phone, I don't know if you can tell this from the camera, but there's like a little layer here. It looks like a screen protector, which means you actually get a screen protector with your Galaxy Note 10, which is pretty sweet. Because there are no like pull tabs, so I don't think you're supposed to peel this off. But you know, again, Samsung hasn't been very good at notifying when you should and shouldn't peel off, which is why the Galaxy Fold, well. The back of the phone, yeah, so it's this Aura Glow color, which is, if I had to describe this color to you, it's sort of like a mirror finish, like the Sony Xperia XZ Premium, but there's like a little sort of like psychedelic, trippy, rainbowy thing on top. So it adds like a little bit of pizzazz to otherwise what is just a normal mirrorless color, normal mirror color. And then, I mean, all around you've got this beautiful sort of metal steel band, which is just like, woo, typical Samsung engineering. Gorgeous, but apparently not stainless steel. Oh yeah! Okay, so the Note 10, as you can see, does not have a power button on this side of the phone anymore, which is really weird for me because I don't know, every other phone that I've used, I've turned on the phone by pressing the power button here, and I thought the Google Pixel's power button was really dumb because it was like really low over here. But this one's even worse because there is no power button there. So there is one button over here, but I don't think you can call it a power button, but we'll get into that in a bit. I think it should turn the phone on though if I press it and hold. Oh yes! Okay. And we're at the start screen, so I'm gonna just quickly like set this up. Okay, so now that the phone has been set up, as you can see, ooh, one thing I do like though is that they're not trying to hide the punch hole with any kind of like gradient wallpaper like, you know, some other people do. They're just fully embracing the little dot there. Speaking of dots, as the phone has been set up right now, let's just go through the specs real quick. So the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 is the new high-end flagship, so I mean, obviously it's going to have all the high-end specs. So inside you'll find a Samsung Exynos 9825 processor, which is like a little bit of an update over the one on the S10 Plus, because that is the 9820. So this one is a 7nm processor, so it should be more frugal, you know, just better overall. This model has 12 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of internal storage, but you can also get it with 512 gigs of internal storage, which is a lot of internal storage. Then keeping the lights on is a 4300 milliamp hour battery. That is pretty big by any standards, so that's very good, honestly. Besides that, you have a triple camera setup at the back. So that's a triple camera which is one more than the Galaxy Note 9. So it's a very similar camera system to the Galaxy S10 Plus. You have a 12 megapixel main camera with a f1.5 to f2.4 variable aperture lens. Then you have a 12 megapixel telephoto camera, which is, you know, for zooming, and then you have the 16 megapixel ultra wide angle camera for ultra wide shots. Up front though, you have a 10 megapixel selfie shooter in this little sort of hole over here. Unlike the Galaxy S10 Plus, which had like a double camera, this only has one. But then again, the other camera on the S10 Plus was only for like depth effects, so it's not like you're missing out on a whole lot, honestly. So speaking of depth, the Galaxy Note 10 Plus actually has one little edge in the camera department compared to the Galaxy Note 10, which is, you know, the smaller one. This one has what they call a depth vision camera. So there are two over here, but I think they treat it as just one camera. There are two little cutouts over here that make up the depth vision camera. So this is for stuff like 3D scanning, depth effects, you know, the usual stuff lah, I guess. It doesn't actually add to image quality, I don't think, but it's nice to have if you want to do sort of AR work, and they also have a new 3D scanning feature. But let's just try the cameras out, okay? So I'm gonna take a quick photo of Mr. Cameraman over here. I mean, it looks pretty good, honestly. It's like, yeah, I mean, it's a Samsung flagship. The camera's gonna be pretty good. And if you don't believe me, believe DxO Mark, because they gave it the highest score so far. I think it's 113, I believe. The number will appear here, which makes it one higher than the current reigning champion, the P30 Pro, but I suspect that might change when the Mate 30 Pro comes out. I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, so it's a very capable camera, but then again, you know, that's already expected considering it's a Samsung flagship. It's not gonna have like some crappy camera. I'm curious about the selfie camera though, since its position is now in the middle, so actually it's better for your eye line. So I'm gonna switch over to the selfie camera, boop. I'm gonna take a selfie with the Note 9 in the background. I mean, that's okay, right? That's pretty good. And one thing I did notice though, even though it has one camera, it still has like the zoom out option, which is like a bit more zoomed out for like those beefies. So in many ways, it's a lot like the Galaxy S10 Plus, but since it's a Note, it has this super special feature, which is called the S Pen. So this is an all-new S Pen, and it has a new sort of unibody design. Now, when I heard unibody, I thought, oh, they got rid of the button. But they didn't, it's still a button here. So I guess the design is just a bit more cohesive. Like, you don't have that little metal bit here that you used to have with the other Galaxy Note S Pens. So yeah, I mean, it's a sleek design and all, but it's still an S Pen. There are a lot of features with this smartphone, with this new S Pen, but one of the key ones is that there is now sort of like a gyroscope inside. So it can detect sort of gyroscopic movements. So they call it air motion, I believe. Sorry, it's air actions. So air actions. You can see that one of the features is if you press and hold, and then you swipe up. You don't even have to point it at it. You can, if I point it at you. Yeah, so it's just the gyroscope. And then if you want to zoom, so if we go back to this camera, if you want to zoom, you do like a little circle-y thing and hold it, and then it zooms. And then if you want to zoom out, just anti-clockwise, it zooms all the way back out. Yeah, so those are like a couple of features that it can do. Samsung's also opening up the SDK so that more manufacturers can add stuff in. So you know, you can maybe see like games running this and a whole bunch of other useful features. I mean, it's kind of neat, but I don't know how practical it will be. It will have to depend on app support. Moving on, we have the most obvious and I think the thing that I like the most about this smartphone, and that is that gorgeous screen. So this panel is a 6.8-inch Quad HD Plus dynamic AMOLED display. So it's beautiful, it's curved at the edges, and I don't know, just the way it curves sort of just gives it that futuristic phone vibe. I think it has like one of the smallest chins I've ever seen on a smartphone, and it just looks it looks super unreal, honestly. Samsung screens have always looked good, but this one is just like woo, like extra good. Then we've got the other features. So the Note 10 Plus is the fully loaded Note. So besides a 3.5mm headphone jack, which is, you can see normally it's like here, it's missing. It gets almost all the other Galaxy Note features that you want. Besides the headphone jack and the heart rate monitor, which used to be like next to the camera, but it's not here anymore. But you do get expandable storage. There is a micro SD card slot. Here it's a hybrid slot, so you'll have to share it with your dual SIM, and you also get stereo speakers. If it looks like there's no sort of earpiece there, I think it's by design, but if you look really closely, you can sort of see like a little slit. Like I can slide my fingernail in there. There's like a little slit here. That's for the earpiece, but that's not where the secondary speaker comes out of. So the secondary speaker actually uses this little orifice, this little hole up here, to boost the secondary speaker to make it louder and, you know, more epic. So if we were to play some YouTube videos, 1000X Mark III headphones, and let's just say that they are utterly incredible. Yeah. They sound pretty good. Way more balanced than I expected. I think a little bit more balanced than the Note 9s too. Yeah, not bad. Okay, approved. And because of this new design, this speaker is actually really hard to block. Okay, so those are the highlight features for the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus. I believe I've covered everything. If I have not, please let me know in the comments below, and I will get to it as soon as I can. So back to the thing that I was talking about when I first launched, when I first turned on this smartphone, which is the fact that there is no power button. So the button over here is actually a Bixby button. So if you press once, you know, it wakes and sleeps the screen, but if you press and hold, it turns on Bixby, and Bixby is now listening to you. But the thing is, if you keep pressing and holding, it still just picks up on Bixby, like it doesn't turn off. So you might be wondering, how, Rory, how do I turn off my brand new Note 10? There is like a little button here. So if you pull down the notifications menu, there's like a little button over here. You see it? You see the N next to the power button? So if you press that, it brings up the power button menu. Oh, but what if my phone hangs and then I cannot press and hold? So another way that you can bring out the power button menu is to press and hold the power button, the Bixby button and the volume down button. Or another way is, if you really just don't want to use Bixby or you want to change the behavior, you can go into settings, you can go into advanced features, and then you can see this feature here, side key. So you tap on it, it gives you access to a whole bunch of settings that you can map your side key to, which is apparently what it's called now. It's not a Bixby button, it's a side key. So you can press and hold to wake Bixby or access the power off menu, which I think I'm gonna go with that. Then you can, quick open Bixby, you can open an app, or you can quick launch the camera with a quick double press. So you can actually just make Bixby go away. So if you do that, see? And then if you double press, you go into the camera. So bye-bye Bixby. So if you were worried about that, because you saw like some YouTube videos talking about that, you can remap it, you can change quite a lot of things about it, which I guess is a good thing. But yeah, that's about all the sort of new features with the Samsung Galaxy Note 10. It still keeps a lot of what you like with previous Notes. So, there's still water resistance, there's still a whole bunch of S Pen commands, it's still very powerful, very capable. But I think one of the more polarizing things is the design, right? So we already talked about the color, the new color, which is Aura Glow. So you may either like it or not like it. I know even in the office here, it's sort of like we're split 50-50. But I do like this. I think it looks pretty cool, and if you're someone who uses it with a case anyway, you're just gonna cover it up. Probably more interesting with the new design is the way everything is being laid out. So I remember when I was in South Korea talking to Samsung about the Note 8, they told me that they wanted a symmetrical design. That's why they put the camera in the middle and then the sort of power button, the fingerprint scanner at the side. But now that they don't have to put a fingerprint scanner at the side, because this is an ultrasonic fingerprint scanner and there is also face unlock if you prefer that, they decided to switch up the design language. So if we were to compare it to, let's say, a Galaxy S10 Plus, which is this phone. So I mean, as you can see, it doesn't even really look like a Samsung flagship anymore. In fact, I think it looks a lot closer to this phone, which is the Huawei P30 Pro. Look at that. But it is more restrained and more, I think, elegant in the camera department, where this one's like, oh, this huge camera bump is like, it's almost kind of obscene. Like, I don't know, man. I get it, you have a big camera, but you need to show off with your bulge. Anyway, it also is a very big difference with the Galaxy Note 9, which is like, that pillbox kind of design. So I don't know, do you like this new look? I don't know, I'm kind of split on the way it looks. I think it looks fine. I like the color a lot, and it feels just so good in the hand. So yeah, I'm excited to use this smartphone, but that's gonna be it for this unboxing. Everything else has been covered already, besides a full review. So I will be using this smartphone now, and I'll let you know what I think of this phone after I've had a chance to give it a full review. Let me know though what kind of things you want me to find out, or what kind of things you want me to explore in a full review in the comments down below, so that I know what to check out. And yeah, If you have anything else you want to say, you can holler down there too. But that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and if you're on YouTube, hit that notification bell icon so that you won't miss any of our future uploads, and you won't want to miss any of our future uploads because our future uploads are good. Okay. Anyway, in the meantime, if you want to check out some of our other videos, you can check out our latest video over here, and then a really cool video over here. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Rory, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!